how are you all doing today?
Doing awesome.
Very good, thank you.
That's awesome. So thank you all so much for taking the time to speak with me today. And first of all, just a huge congrats on season 2 of Motherland Fort Salem. That is so exciting, and the season 1 finale was so incredible, and so I'm just so excited for everyone to see the next season and see how the story unfolds. And so let's just jump right in today. So my first question is for Demetria. So to start us off, I'm wondering what it was like coming back to set for season 2, and then obviously without giving anything away, can you kind of tease what fans can expect in season 2?
Oh, wow. Well, first off, getting the opportunity to come back for season 2 was humbling. There was so much gratitude for a couple of reasons. One, understanding that the fan base was with us like that, and the network completely supported us the way that they do and have. Part 2, to be doing this again in the times that we're in, where there was so much uncertainty, and being able to be relied upon as an escape was something that we really look forward to and we never took for granted. Now, as far as what people can expect in season 2, you can't. There's no way you're going to understand what's about to hit you square between your eyes. Like, this is incredible stuff. The writers lost their minds in the best way. Everybody's character is on an incredible journey. The lives that you've known these characters to have been completely switched. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of deception. And as you're taking this journey, you have to choose sides a little bit, but ultimately you're really going to enjoy it.
I'm sure. That is so exciting. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure fans everywhere are super excited too. And then my next question is for Amalia. So season 1 obviously left off on some pretty big cliffhangers, particularly with Scylla. And so I was wondering what it was like for you to return to your character and sort of see her grow and evolve in this next season.
It was wonderful. You know what? One of the points we left her with was that she was just rescued and let out from a certain path to death, and now she's got a new chance, and she's reconnected with her boss, who's apparently her mother-in-law. So all of that was just, I was really excited to, and curious to see what the writers would have cooked up for me. Like Demetria said, could not have expected the path we ended up going on, and I loved it. It was a wonderful journey, and I can't wait for the audience to see it. And I hope they are surprised, but also that they feel that it makes sense, the journeys that our individual characters are on and the decisions that they make, whether they are thought through or not, on impulse or instinct or whatever they have to be. Because this season is urgent. There's a new threat that is so big that we'll have to reconsider everything in our individual journeys. So it was wonderful to be back, and I had a lot of fun with Scylla this season too.
I bet. Yeah, that's so exciting. That's fantastic. And then Lynn, I imagine there are so many things, but if you had to narrow it down to just one thing, what are you most excited for fans to see in this next season?
I think what I'm most excited about for fans to see is how the world that we've created takes a completely different shift, almost one that is unexpected. And I kind of love that, because with the world that we're in today, we're challenged and are getting things thrown at us that we didn't expect. So I'm almost loving that challenge, and it did challenge us each individually, because it was so different than what we had anticipated on where our stories would take us. So I think I'm most excited about showing facets that we weren't able to show before, and the growth of the maturity of each individual in the show.
Wow, that's so exciting. I cannot wait to see it. And then I'd like to go back to Demetria now. So Anacostia is such a phenomenal character. She is just so great to watch. And I was wondering for you, what you would consider her greatest strength and greatest weakness to be.
First off, thank you so much. I think that her greatest strength and her greatest weakness lie in one word: loyalty. She has followed blindly. She has allowed things to go unchecked. And now it's led to where she just cannot continue to ride that horse anymore. She's got to jump off. She's got to find the path back to truth, back to what's in the best interest of all involved. That's whether you're a witch, a human, all involved. And now with this new threat of the Camarilla being there, the spree is now secondary. All efforts have to go towards the good of not only witchhood, but bringing humanity and witch people into a harmony that is healthy and supportive of each other. So I think her loyalties are the strength and her downfall at the same time. She's got to make sure she's loyal to the right thing.
Definitely. Yeah. Great answer. That is definitely, I'm sure, a really fun character to play too with someone like that.
Thank you.
And then, so Amalia, to go back to you, I'm sure there are so many things for this, and I know everyone sort of touched on it a little bit, but I was wondering for you, what would you say you are most proud of about season 2, whether it's character or production or really any facet of season 2?
Well, it cannot be unsaid how proud we all are that the network and the production, all crew members and cast managed to keep us safe. Because it's not only us on set being kept safe, it's also the families of everyone working on the show. And, we might be 300 people involved in it on a daily basis, but, it just tickles out. So I'm really, really proud of that, that we managed to do that. And yeah, just credit to everyone and big thanks. And other than that, I'm really proud of the world we get introduced to, a bit on what Lynn said, that we're going to see some new elements and we're going to learn a lot more about the work and the world that this is, and we're going to meet such cool new characters that I'm really excited for the fans to meet, and some of them are exceptionally original when it comes in terms of being witches, and I'm really excited about that.
That's so great. I can't wait to see that. And then Lynn, I have a question for you. So your character is super strong and powerful. And so I was wondering, what does portraying General Alder mean to you? And in what ways, if any, would you say you're similar to her?
Well, let's start with saying that I couldn't be more different from Alder. She is the opposite of me. I mean, I have to say that, but Demetria, she calls me Noodle. It's now become Lindu of Noodle. I don't know, because I'm clumsy. I'm always the one who first thinks of other people, and I'm giggly. I don't know how to describe myself, but I'm anything but Alder. And I think that's what drew me to her, because she was something that it's not that I lack the strength, but it's how she carries her. And for me, that was an incredible challenge. So to play her, I mean, it's incredible because you get given so much. First of all, when you come to set, the costumes, the props, the sets, again, this army of people that comes together every day, and the respect and attention to detail in the show is just incredible and helps us to place these characters so beautifully, because we're given so much. And then of course it's up to us what we bring to that character and how we bring something of course from us to it and make it sing and dance. And I think the casting on this show is just so done so beautifully, because we are each similar but also very different to our characters, and the collective that they've put together to tell this story, I think, is just extraordinary.
Yeah, that sounds so great. And it's definitely so interesting to sort of see these characters and how they grow and evolve just in one season alone. So it's definitely going to be so great to see their arcs and their growth in an entirely new season. And so then, Demetria, I was wondering if you could describe season 2 in just 5 words. I know that's definitely probably tricky, but if you could try.
5 words. Growth, trust, break, new, wow.
That sounds perfect. That's amazing. Cannot wait to see how all those words sort of show up or in the show. And then Amalia, for you, I was wondering if you could meet any witch from a movie or a book or a TV show, who would you want to meet?
Anacostia Quartermain.
There you go.
Friend.
That is so great. And then for Lynn, I was wondering if you have like a favorite memory from filming season 2, or it can be from season 1 if that's easier with spoilers.
Oh my God, a favorite moment. There's so many. There's so many great favorite moments. I guess it's how we kept each other going, while we were filming in this pandemic. We were challenged with a lot. We were isolated. We were far away from our families, and to meet each other on set and have these little, it's the giggles. It's keeping, we were filming filming outside one night. Do you remember, Demetria? And we kept on singing that song. What song was it again that we did? Sorry, we kept on falling into this sound that we did. Oh, exactly. And it's these silly, stupid things that get you through the night, that get each other through the night by just having to dance and stay warm because our nostril hairs were it was so cold. I have never in my life been more cold. So the was probably one of the funniest moments in this season.
Definitely. Yeah, that sounds great. And you absolutely you got to do what you got to do to stay warm, especially late nights, cold nights. I can't even imagine. And so, yeah, that just sounds so much fun, I'm sure. And it seems like, even though the show itself is very intense, it seems like you all have so much fun together. So I was curious, Demetria, what is it like to work with people who you are just as close with off screen as sometimes you appear on screen, or maybe it's your enemy on screen, but you're so close off screen?
I want to preface this statement that I'm going to make with, I love everybody in this show. Top to bottom, middle, far left and right. Everybody is phenomenal in the space that they are in. But I do have to take a moment of pause and talk about these two ladies here. When I got hired for the show, I was with Amalia, and we found out literally the same time. So we started this journey together, and coming into it and understanding that we were basically enemies was a fun dynamic to play, because as soon as we yelled cut, we were like, you want to go get something without cheese because I'm allergic? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. It was a camaraderie that we built. And then coming into season 2 and seeing how our characters develop, even after the end of season 1, has been so fulfilling, because we already have that bond off camera that then translates when the camera is running. And we really don't have to say anything. We just do it. We understand when each other is a little bit off. We understand when we need a little bit of help. And we're constantly there to make sure each of us is whole in the moment. Now, as it pertains to Lyne Renee, she is a noodle. This thing is so contrary to Alder, which is what makes her work superb. Both these young ladies carry their weight, and it's an honor indeed to work with them. But each time I got in there with Lynn, understanding that I was not alone, understanding that I was kept and safe, especially with the kind of ride we had to go through. Now, ours was the exact opposite. We were thick as thieves at the beginning, on and off. And now you're seeing all of these tears in the fabric. So it's just really, really cool to see that whether the dynamics of our characters change or not, I'm surrounded in sisterhood. And I'm so very grateful for that, because I have the trust, I have the family, and I have the go-to safe places, whether we're in the middle of the pandemic and in Vancouver for another 9 months, or I'm here in Atlanta and they're wherever they are, and we're still checking on each other. So the dynamics are definitely there, definitely genuine, and I'm truly grateful for them.
That's very special. And it's super interesting because, like you said, sometimes you seem like your enemies on screen, but then as you mentioned, you go off screen and you're like, oh, let's go grab something to eat. So that's so fun. And then Amalia, fans went crazy last season with so many of the twists and turns. And I was wondering, for you, do you have a favorite memory of a certain reveal or fan reaction that came with season 1?
Well, what just pops into my mind is, of course, the amazing fan art that we've just been so spoiled with, especially in the Scylla Raella relationship, because there's so many beautiful moments because of the cinematography. There's stills that you can paint and you can interpret them in any way you want and just add to the art. And it's just like, it's meta art and it's just on layer and layer. And that's been wonderful to watch. So in a sense, the fan reaction to Scylla and Raelle is my favorite moment of that, and just how they put that into art in many ways.
Yeah.
And also, like, you know, the fans created Mama Costume.
Yeah, they
like
did.
They just started making wonderful little doodles of like creating alternate stories and fan fiction about all these characters coming together, and how Mama Kostya would stand there with Scylla like bugging her, and the girls and Alder, and yeah, I loved all of that, and it's just been so wonderful to be part of it, and we have this weird position in all that because we're fans of the show too, so you know, and fans of each other, so it's wonderful to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, your show definitely has such a strong fan base, and it's great that you all are fans. I mean, it's impossible not to be a fan of this show. Come on, it's so great. So
Exactly.
totally understandable that you're all fans as well. And then my last question is for Lynn. So I was wondering, this can be probably from season 1, because I don't want to give anything away for season 2, but is there a particular scene that you think particularly captures the essence of General Alder?
You know what I think captures Alder in a way, but it's such a little part of her, but it's when you sit down with Abigail and you're talking about how someone was a shitbird.
Yeah, exactly. The first time. I mean, she's with Alder, you know, you think she's one way and very straightforward and rudimental, but there's so much more to her. She does have humor. She does, you know, the knowledge is so never ending with Alder that there's so many. Yeah.
Pick me. Season 2, episode 9, the entire episode. There is a meeting of the fierceness of Alder and what we've known, and the vulnerability of who she's always been, but has had to be too strong to show. And I think that with all the turmoil that everybody's had with trying to figure out, is she good? Should she lead? Why'd she do that? Who is she really? What's she hiding? It kind of culminates in this beautiful, beautiful moment in 9 that really just display. I mean, all bets are off. Everything is displayed, and it's just so authentically Alder and beautifully played by Lynn. Sorry.
They know better than us.
Yet to come.
Something to look forward to then. That is so exciting. And thank you all so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it. And a huge congrats again on season 2. So exciting. Cannot wait for everyone to get the chance to see it.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for having us.